Hello, Women of the Channel Leadership Network. I'm Jackie Rives, your community leader, and welcome to another Woman of the Week. This week, I am super excited to get to know and introduce you to Amy Wilde, Director of Data and Research with the Channel Company. Hi, Amy. How are you doing?
Hi, Jackie. So good to be here.
Well, I am so excited that you accepted my invitation so that we could celebrate you. One little thing I'm going to let the listeners know about is that you actually lead the team that is working behind the scenes with our annual Women of the Channel data survey. What a big project. And I just wanted the community to get to know a little bit more about you and celebrate you for all that you do to support Women of the Channel.
Thank you.
So, so let's dive into those icebreaker questions. Where do you live and where did you grow up? That's different.
Now, wait. So I live in a little farming community called Perry, Utah. And I'm telling you what, in the highlight of the season, we've got peaches, we've got apples, we've got corn, we've got cantaloupe, and it is absolutely wonderful. And I grew up in a town about 20 minutes south of here and right close to Salt Lake City area. So beautiful place to live. We've got the mountains for hiking and skiing, and we've got the beautiful sunsets nearly year round.
Oh, I'm definitely familiar with the skiing. That's what we've done the last 2 years for our ski trip. And every
Love
time I go there, I tell my husband, let's move from Georgia,
it.
please.
Come on in.
I love it. All right. So let's find out a little known fact about you that you don't mind sharing.
No. Little known fact about me. When I was 12, I thought I could start my own business selling chocolate chip cookies. And so I recruited my brothers to go around the neighborhood and sell them for, I think it was $2.50 a dozen. And I ended up making something like 24 dozen cookies. It was a lot. And I
Wow.
grew up without
Wow.
sugar. So this was like a big deal at our house to have 24 dozen cookies. But they were all spoken for. And gratefully, I made a little bit of cash that day. So I have a little bit of that entrepreneur in me from early on.
Oh my gosh, that is such a great story. How, for me, chocolate chip cookies are my weakness, really cookies in general. So I'm not sure I would have made a bunch of money that day.
I love it.
All right. Well, let's pivot into your professional
Mm,
questions that we have. Have you ever questioned your abilities and
mm.
qualifications? And if so, how did you
Ooh,
kind of deal with that or overcome that challenge?
that is a great question. So here's a bit of a vulnerable moment. Um, I worked very hard to get my degree at Utah State, and it was in geography with a minor in GIS, which is spatial data. I love data, and I was feeling very accomplished and very on top of the world. I had all this new information, and I went in for my final interview with my professor, final exit interview before graduation. And he said, "You've done so well. You've done such a great job, but have you ever considered selling makeup at Kmart instead of pursuing your degree in tech?" And I was like, ah. And girl, I love a good lippy. This is Snob by Mac. I mean, I love a good lippy. In that moment, I was like, is that what you see? And he fully believes that that is where I should be, is selling makeup at a retail store.
Wow.
What I did with that, I think that you can spin either up or down when you get information like that. And for me, in that moment, I was like, I will show you that I can do more than sell makeup. I will purchase makeup my whole life. I never wanted to sell makeup. I wanted to be a woman in tech. And I got a science background, and that's what I did. I marched forward with that. So I do think that there are times when you can question your abilities because people put that on you.
Mm-hmm.
Another example is back when I was doing marketing. I come from a a bit of a marketing background as well. And we had decided to start an ABM program, account-based marketing program. I outlined my entire playbook, how we were going to do it, and presented it to all of the salespeople. And as we went around the room, they were saying, we're not ready for this. We're not going to take a risk. Nope, I don't want to do it. I don't want you touching my particular accounts. And then I got to one man. His name's Mike Ray. I'm going to give a shout out to Mike Ray. And he said, no, I believe in you. And I believe in what you put together. And we're going to do this. And we rocked and rolled that campaign. And to this day, it has brought in millions of dollars for that particular company. Sometimes people doubt
That
you.
is amazing.
It was
Yes.
one of those moments where I was like, thank you for believing in me. A lot of times somebody will say something to you and you absorb it, and that becomes your internal dialogue of how you question yourself. And then other times people will say, I believe in you. And it shifts everything. So shout out to Mike Ray for that day.
Yeah, shout out to Mike Ray, but also you, Amy. Like you also took both scenarios and said, nope, that's not who I am, and
Yeah,
that's not what I have planned. And
yeah,
here you
exactly.
are, a woman in tech,
Mm-hmm.
leading a data team.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. I love this. Thank you for sharing. What are some experiences or transformational moments in your life? I know we just talked about some good ones here, but do you have any others that you want to share?
I had this moment when I was really little. So it was 1978. I was, this will date me, but I was between 5 and 6 years old. And we had decided, me, my older sister, and a few of the neighborhood kids, to walk over to this big pond. We thought it was big. It was really just a retaining pond. And we started to throw these big rocks into the pond over and over again. And there was one little boy that was 3 years old that was with us, and he threw a big rock into the pond, and he went in after it. And he was in the middle of the pond. And my sister, who's a year and a half older than me, I said to her, Jeannie, he's drowning. And I remember tugging. I didn't dare swim. But my sister, it gives me chills. She, first of all, grabbed a stick, tried to get him to hang on to the stick. She was shouting, like, do this, do this, do this. And he was going under, Jackie, like this cute little 3-year-old boy.
Oh my gosh.
And my sister, at 7 years old, she just went in after him, swam, rescued him, pulled him out. And my sister, in that moment, rescued him, but also rescued me, because I got to see what it was like to have a female superhero in my life. And she continued to rescue me many days through elementary and junior high. And she has gone on to be one of my female heroes, for sure, both of my sisters. But Jeannie has this way of rooting for the underdog and really championing females. She rescued him. Didn't even think twice about it. So rescuing others is, to me, one of the biggest pivots that we can do in this life, and especially being a cheerleader for other women. My siblings, my parents helped shape me, hands down. But I do remember that moment specifically when my sister took the leap and rescued.
I love that story. And I of course, have the foundation, and anyone at Women of the Channel West this year has the foundation of your story and your sister and what a leader she is. I think we're going to have to drop the TED Talk link in there as well, just so people can learn more about the backgrounds here on you and your sister, if that's okay with you.
I love that.
Amazing. Great. I love it. All right. I've got like 30 seconds. Any tips on how you define successful leadership?
Absolutely. I use the acronym WIN, willing to take a risk, lead with integrity. Integrity is the I, and know your numbers. Some of my very favorite mentors, Sam Abdelnour from Whirlpool, he taught me how to lead with integrity. And Heather Barnes, one of my very favorite female mentors, has taught me how to take a risk. Lead with love, lead with kindness, and be authentic to yourself. And you can't lose. You will continue to rescue. You'll continue to take chances on yourself and others, but mostly be a cheerleader for the women in your life.
That's a mic drop. Amy, it was an absolute pleasure getting to spend some time with you and celebrate you as our Woman of the Week. Thank you again for your
Pleasure.
authenticity and transparency with our community.
Love it. Thank you, Jackie.
All right, community, please comment, leave your feedback for Amy, share your insights. I know she would love it. So until next time, I hope you all have an amazing week.